So coming up onto your chair and making sure that you're comfortable first of all. So if your feet aren't completely flat, then maybe get a cushion or a block underneath your feet so they're nice and flat. So instead of favoring the back of the chair, just showing you from the side, just come towards the center of your chair. And spinal alignment is really, really important, just generally. But as women, if we are aligned in our spine and our pelvis is in a neutral position, it just brings more nourishment to the reproductive organs, the ovaries as well. So have your ankles underneath your knees. And just take a moment to just set your agenda of the morning or whatever is happening later on. Just be very present. And find your center of balance. Quite often we lean forwards or backwards. So take a moment to close your eyes and maybe make some small little circles of the spine. Finding that place of balance between both sit bones. So staying where you are, just take a deep breath in and sigh out through the mouth, just letting go of your morning. And again, breathing in. Opening the mouth, let out a long sigh. Let's do that once more, breathing in, feet grounded. And breathing out. It just helps to center ourselves and gives ourselves something to focus on. So now bring your arms beside you and let's start to match movement with the breath. So turn the palms out. Inhale, raise the arms up, get to the top of your breath, and that could be arms shoulder height or at a V shape or all the way up, depending on lung capacity. And then breathe all the way out and down. So nice and slowly out through nose or mouth. So breathing in and breathing out. And this just helps to slow things down. And out and down. Inhale. And exhale. Last time like this, inhaling. And exhale. Good. So let's start to begin our strengthening practice. So either getting your cushion, I've got a yoga block, but again, you can use a cushion or a folded blanket. And I'd like you to place it in between your thighs, upper thighs, here's better. And I'd like you to shuffle towards the edge of your chair. I'm just showing you from the side-on point of view so you can see me, but you can stay face on. So come towards the edge of your chair. And the heels now can slide a little bit further back, so the knees are slightly in front. Squeeze that folded up cushion or your prop into each other, so the thighs are squeezing into the midline of the body. So this helps us to work the ligaments around our pelvis that can get quite weak. And then we're working with chair to chair pose. So if you're familiar with yoga, you'll know this one. If you're not, then enjoy. So sweep the arms forwards, hover your bottom above your chair, and your arms might come at shoulder height or might come higher. And then exhale, slowly come back to your chair. This is where you think, really need to know that chair's there. So sweep the arms forwards and up, hover, try not to straighten those legs, and exhale, come down. Good, remember to breathe. On the up to hover, breathe in and come down. Keep squeezing into your prop. And you might find that the thighs are really switching on now. And down. So keep that flowing. So as you come up, bring the weight a little bit more towards your heels. I can definitely feel that. Good, keep going, inhale. And exhale. Now either keep doing this, coming back to your chair, or if you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can stay hovering the bottom. A bit more hard work, but it depends what you want today. So exhale, sweeping back. Inhale, keep it going. This is also known as fierce pose for a reason. Inhale, sweep it up. And exhale down. Can we do one more? Inhale. And then exhale, come all the way down. Well done. How do you feel? So get rid of your prop. Take it to one side. We're going to come up into standing. So sweep the arms up, stand up, inhale. And just shake out those thighs. And hold on to any tension in the thighs. So with your chair now, I'd like you to place it, if you have a mat, the front edge of your mat, or side on like this. Okay. And you might need your strap or whatever you have close to hand. I've got a scarf here. I'm just going to drape that on the back of the chair. So just stand a little bit further away from the chair, and you're going to take your left leg on top. So we're working with lunges to really open out the front of the thigh. So please be careful, press down through that left foot rather than pushing the chair forwards. Otherwise, you're going to take both hands to your left thigh and come into a lunge. So if you do have osteoporosis, if that's something that you know you have, please keep all your joints nice and soft. So we want room for the synovial fluid to work in between each joint. So with that grounded leg, really push into your back heel. Feel that lunge, and you can lunge as far forward as you comfortably can without lifting your back heel. So keep moving, keep lifting the chest away from your thigh. And you can incorporate the arms here, reaching up on the inhale and exhaling down. Inhale, reach it up, feel that stretch in the front of your right thigh and down. You can add on by working with your scarf or strap. Again, you can pull that strap nice and taut, but don't lock the elbows, and you can inhale, reach up and down. Good. Inhale and down. It's a really good grounding pose. Strengthening the legs, and exhale down. So 2 more like this. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale down. Last time, inhale. And down. Good. So you can leave the scarf if you had it. Let's come into a twist. So staying like this, take your left arm on the inside of your knee, and have equal pressure between left knee and hand. So they're pressing against each other and not moving. And then with your right shoulder, start to roll the shoulder up and back. And we're just coaxing the spine into a twist to begin with before we go any deeper. That's it. So inhale forwards and exhale into the twist. And you can start to gradually get bigger in that twist if you wish by leading with the elbow. Keep pushing left arm against left knee. Rolling it open, and then eventually you might want to straighten that right arm and get really big in that twist. So twists are very energizing, but they also help to create that support for the muscles around your spine, keeping it nice and strong. Good. If you want to go slightly deeper, you can slide that left hand to your ankle and use a deeper twist. Just be careful of your balance. That's it. So you get a little bit more of a stretch on the side there. Good. couple more twists on this side. Very good for opening out the chest. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Good. So come back. Shake out. Do you feel it on that right leg? Shake it out a little bit. Maybe give it a bit of a tap. Let's go over to the other side. So stepping your right foot on top of your chair. Make sure your left heel is on the floor and you're really pushing down into that left heel. Soften the left knee, and then take hands to right thigh and start to push and lengthen the belly, the chest away from your inner thigh. So you get a good stretch in the abdominal muscles there, and then take that lunge. So going as far forward as you comfortably can. Again, please be careful on your chairs. And coming back. So lunging and lifting. And exhaling back. Good, inhaling. Exhaling, and then if you haven't already, you can incorporate the arms. Inhale, reach up, lengthen the spine. And down. Inhale, lengthen. And down, and then if you want to add on, you can use your scarf or strap. Pull it taut, elbows soft. Inhale. Good for shoulder opening too. Inhale up. And exhale down. So moving slowly is much more effective than doing things quickly. So inhale. And exhale, one more like this. Inhale. And exhale. Good. So let's have our twists. Right arm on the inside of right knee. So push against each other. And then start with your left shoulder, roll it forwards, and then roll it back. Almost a bit like a shimmy, rolling back to create that twist in the spine. You can start to gradually get bigger, leading with the elbow. So inhaling forwards and exhale it back. Until you might feel comfortable with straightening that arm all the way. That's it. And if you want to add on, you can slide your right hand on the inside of your ankle and work with that twist that way. So give yourself some choices and never push yourself too far that something feels uncomfortable. As you know, your body feels very different from day to day sometimes. One more twist, breathing in and exhale. And come forwards and release your right foot. Again, shake out. You tap out that stabilizing leg. Good. And then from here, stand in front of your chair. And we're going to do a modified downward facing dog. So if you've got an established practice, then by all means come down onto the floor. But just for today, and to make this more accessible, we're working with the chair, which is just as good. So we're working with upper body strengthening. So think about your arm bones, your wrists, your fingers. So have your hands on the front corners of your chair. And then start to walk the feet back, keeping them hip width distance apart. So it's up to you how far back you want to go, but I'd like you to bend your knees. Arms are straight, you're pressing down through your hands rather than pushing forwards. And from here, bend the legs, have the heels slightly off the floor, and push that tailbone up towards the ceiling. And with the head, instead of just hanging the head, we want to keep the head neck in between the upper arms, if at all possible. And from here, you can start to bend and straighten your legs one at a time. Just helping to stretch the backs of the legs. And keep that breath moving through the body. Try not to hold the breath. Good. And then from here, without locking the knees, keep the hips up tailbone lifted. Just staying here and pausing for a breath. Breathing in, keep pressing down through your hands. Breathing out. So we're going to transition to plank pose on the chair. So you might need to glance at the screen. I would like you to shift forwards, keeping the shoulders above your wrists, coming into a modified plank pose. So again, working with the upper body here. Now, instead of just sinking the pelvis down, I want you to zip the navel up towards the spine and push the heels back. So you're very active in your legs and you can feel the support of the upper body through the arms. Breathe. Inhale here. And then we're going to come back into down dog. Bend the knees, push the hips up. So let's move through these two poses. Inhale. Good. And exhale. Inhaling, coming forwards, feel the chest lengthening towards the back of the chair, bending the knees, pushing the hips up. So try and keep that movement as smooth as you can. And if you need to rest at any point, then just drop the knees on the floor, give yourself a breath. Let's keep moving. Good. So finding your rhythm with your breathing. Inhale to come forwards. Exhale to come back. So let's do this one more. Inhaling. Plank pose, nice and strong around the pelvis and navel. And exhale, take it back. Good. And then from here, pause. You might want to walk the feet a little closer to your chair. Have your feet hip width distance apart. Press down into your chair. Lengthen the chest forwards into a half forward bend. Good. Then bend the legs and come into standing. Inhale. Good. Again, shake out. So we're going to add on from here. So coming back, hands on chair. This time, instead of taking the feet back, I'd like you to take your feet out to the side into a wide angled pose. So ankles are in line with outer hips. And we're going to bring some impact into our practice. And I'll give you choices, but we're going to bring ourselves into jumping jacks. I know, since when does yoga have jumping jacks? But this is to create impact for your bones so they can create new bone. So this is just really beneficial, all right? So the easier version, if you wish to take it, is just stepping one foot in, one foot out, one foot in and out, okay? If you want to do some jumping jacks, press down into your chair and start to bounce on the balls of your feet. And it's said that to keep healthy bones, I'm talking while I'm doing this, to have impact, at least 50 jumps a day. We're not going to do 50, we're going to do 6 more. So either stepping the feet in and out, 3, 4, 5, keep breathing, 6, and coming back. How'd you do? Good. So walk the feet forwards. Come up into standing, inhale. Let's raise the heart rate. So let's keep the knees bent and roll the shoulders. Big breath in and out. Maybe get a little bit bigger with your arm movements. Breathing in and out. In and out. A couple more like this. Inhale and out. One more. Inhale and out. Good. Shake out the body. Nice. And then from here, we're going to start to work our hips, ready for our balances. So we're going to do some lunges, but with your chair. Again, take the feet nice and wide. Stay close to your chair, either hands on your chair, or if it's comfortable, come down onto your forearms. So keeping the feet flat, you're going to bend and straighten one leg and then the other. And you should feel that on the inner thighs, around the groins. Just stretching and opening. And quite often we don't do a huge amount of inner thigh stretches. It's usually hamstrings or quads. So keep pushing down through the elbows. If you're on your forearms, you're not hunching. You want to create space around your neck. And then slow it down a little bit. And just pay attention to the outer edges of your feet. If they're curling up, then maybe just shorten your stance a little bit. But really press into the outer edges of your feet. Good. And then coming back to your center. Zigzag the feet back underneath your hips. And come into standing. Inhale. Good. So let's work with our hip opening balances. So I'd like you to use your chair. You might not even need it, but it's there if you do. Or stand up against a wall. So with balances, you can mirror me. So my right leg is next to the chair, and we're going to balance on the right leg first. So we're working with hip opening balances, but first, let's take hands to hips, or maybe use your hand on your chair. Don't lean on it, it's just there as and when you need it. Otherwise, lift up the left leg, shake out the foot, and just get used to that balance first of all. So with balances, do it slowly, never rush a balance, and then feel your navel zip up to keep you supported. And ideally, you want to look at a point ahead of you at eye level. Now, understandably, you might be looking at me, but glance at that point when you feel comfortable in your balance. So from here, with the kneecap, not the foot, I'd like you to make an infinity shape with the knee. And this shape could be really small. You could even keep the ball of your foot on the floor, hold on to your chair or a wall. Just getting used to this hip opening balance. Get strengthening the bones and the muscles of your legs. Also lubricating your hip joints too. And then from here, take your knee out and then place the big toe on the floor, ankle to heel, and then stand up nice and tall. Good, again, have that focal point. And if you want to add on, slide your foot up, get into your balance, tree pose. Or if you're proficient in yoga, grab hold of the ankle, flex your foot and press the heel bone into your thigh bone so it grips nicely here. Stand tall, take a breath or two here. Maybe raise the arms up if you feel comfortable. Good, and then very slowly releasing. And come back to both feet. How do you do? Good, now shake out the right leg. Let's swap the chair or swap sides if you're next to a wall. So stand and center yourself first, bend the knees slightly, do that zip, that focal point. Then either hands on hips or one hand on your chair. Lift up your right leg. And then weave in and out. That's it. Good. In and out. You might need to work with your chair or keep the ball of the foot on the floor. If you're feeling quite strong, you can keep that thigh nice and lifted, working with the hip flexor at the same time. Keep breathing. And if you wobble or fall, don't worry about it, just come back in. It's really no big deal. It's only balance. Just shows you how much you might want to practice in between. Good, now roll that knee out. Bring the ball of the foot to the floor. Just gather yourself. Get your focal point. I always say have a loving gaze rather than a hard stare. Maybe bring hands in prayer. Keep one hand to the chair. Slide that foot up the inner shin. Never lean into your knee. Very vulnerable joints. Or come a little higher if you want to. Flex the foot Bring that heel bone to press into your thigh bone. Whoa. Good. If it feels comfortable, bring your hands in prayer. Take a breath or two here. Release. Very good. Shake out the legs. Now let's walk with this chair, with this tree pose. So hopefully you've got a little bit of space. If you feel you want to stay next to a wall, stay next to a wall. Otherwise, we're going to walk the tree. So think about which leg you want to balance on first. Have that focal point. And then turn that opposite knee out. Come into your tree. And then there's the balance. It's a balance within a balance as you step the other foot forwards. And come into the other side. You can, if you've got lots of space, then use your space. And you can work with different arm positions if you want to bring the arms up and down as you exhale. So get creative. It's quite nice to have the space to play around with balance. Stretching up into your tree. And if you find that you've got a very busy mind, do some balances. It really helps to center you because there's nothing else to focus on other than your body. Two more. And last time. And come into standing. Coming into Tadasana, which is mountain pose. So staying very firm through your feet, soft through your knees, just roll the shoulders up, back and down. Take a deep breath in, feel really tall, feel the crown ascending and press down into your feet. Good. So let's come down onto the floor. I'm just going to shift my chair to one side. You don't need that now. But you will need your scarf or something similar. So coming down onto the floor. So with yoga therapy, we want to keep the pelvis in a neutral position, just to stay safe. So coming to the side and then sliding down. So coming into an active rest position. It's sort of a false sense of security with the rest part in it because we're not going to rest. But it's just nice lying on the floor, isn't it? Okay, so have that natural curvature of your spine, especially the lumbar. There should be a curve, you're not flattening it. And then with your feet, have them hip width distance apart to begin with here. And have your scarf close by. So I'd like you to bring your right thigh into your chest. Maybe have your hands on your shin. Relax the shoulders. We're just stretching out the hip flexors here. And then start to extend the leg a little bit. And I just want you to bring some warmth into the hamstrings, into the thighs, knees, lower legs, ankles and feet. Waking them up. And then grab your strap and place it around the ball of your foot, not the arch, but the ball of the foot. Wrap that strap around if you've got enough length there. And start to push that foot into your strap and the strap down into your foot. So this is called isometric poses that really help to strengthen and create new bone. So it's important to really descend that hip. It's really grounding down towards the earth rather than lifting up the hip. We want somewhere for that leg to go, for the heel to work towards. So instead of locking the knee, have it soft. Take an inhale here, press and push equally. And then exhale to slightly soften. So press and push and soften. And you may even feel comfortable to lengthen your left leg along the floor. If that doesn't feel comfortable, then keep it bent. Otherwise, working with the breath, pushing into almost resisting that scarf. So, you know, there's lots of effort there. So it's so important to keep the weight bearing and the strengthening for your joints, but also for your bones, because they do get weaker, especially postmenopausal. So doing a little bit of something every day, even if it's just a balance while you're, you know, waiting for the kettle to boil, is really, really good for later on in life. So one more like this, push, release, good. Up that right thigh, and let's go over to the other side. So just hug that left thigh into your chest first. Take a deep breath. Relax the shoulders. And your thigh might not come up close to your belly, that's okay. Maybe hold on to the back of the thigh rather than the shin. And then grab your strap or scarf, place it around the ball of the foot, wrap it around. Feel that hip bone descending, and you might even want to manually pull down the left hip. And then start to inhale, push, and exhale, slightly soften. So inhale, push, and soften. So really give that foot some work and that leg some work as it pushes, and you're resisting by pulling it down. But just aim to keep your facial muscles soft. Just relax your jaw. Don't get aggressive. We're just strengthening the legs. Good, inhale, soften. Exhale, push. And your leg might be down here if you're working. The hamstring might not be as open, and that's okay. Got somewhere to work towards always. Just make it accessible to you. So a couple more times, inhale, push. And exhale, soften, relax the shoulders. And slowly release. Very nice. Again, just rub out the back of the leg. Bring your feet flat once again. And if you've got some space, I'd like you to take your arms out like a capital T. Palms are on the floor, wrists in line with your shoulders. I'm going to take some twists here. So inner thighs are together. Inhale with the knees centered, and exhale, you might want to lift the heels. Exhale, knees just hovering above the floor. Inhale, come back. And exhale over to the left. So working with that movement and breath. Inhale, center. And exhale, twist. And this gives quite a nice massage for the lumbar spine as well, which can get congested or tight. Just keeping that twist moving. And in turn, this starts to stretch the sides of your waist, and you might feel that. So your knees might not go as low as mine, or they might come all the way to the floor and then lift up. Obviously, the lower you get to the floor, more effort it is to bring the knees up. So you might want to lift the pelvic floor at the same time, just to keep the pelvis stable, the lower back protected. Just a couple more times on each side. It's quite nice and soothing twists. And one more. Good. And then bringing the feet flat. And just shaking out the arms, shaking out the legs. Almost looking as if you're a toddler having a tantrum. It just creates any energy that you've pent up, just let it go. So we're going to wobble for 5, 4, quicker, 3, 2, 1, and bring the feet to the floor. palms up. I'm just going to rest here for 2 breaths. So inhale deeply. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale. And let it go. Let's bring the sides of your feet together. And take your right arm beside your right ear if you can. And roll onto your right side. And your arm will act as a pillow to rest your head. Just take a moment. There's no rush in coming up. And then when you feel ready, press down into your hands. Walk the body up, breathing in as you come up. Good. So we're going to end our practice with some breath work, some pranayama. So again, you can come onto your chair, or if you feel more comfortable, you can sit on the floor. If you're sitting on a floor, then please take some props. If you're sitting on your chair, then make sure your feet are flat and claws are underneath your knees. So if it's not comfortable sitting cross-legged, you don't have to. You can stretch your legs out in front of you, just as long as your spine is nice and straight, which is really important. So again, let's just make some circles, keeping the spine nice and straight. You can close your eyes, finding that center point of balance. And we'll circle the body the other way. Come into your center, take a deep breath in. And offer it out through the mouth. Deep breath in. And out through the mouth. So taking your right hand and placing it on the lower part of your belly. So thumb resting on your belly button. Left hand in the center of your chest, just below the collarbones. So as you breathe in, I'd like you to breathe in towards your right hand. Feel the belly expanding. And then take that breath up towards your left hand. Pause when you get to the very top, then exhale out through the mouth. So as you get to the base of your breath, pull the navel back. So inhale, repeating, belly, all the way up to your upper chest, shoulders relaxed, and exhale out. Your pace might start to slow down. So breathing in, and in. Pause at the top of your breath. Breathing out, out, out. Pause. Repeating. Now go at your own pace. Breathing in, belly, up to your chest. Pause if you can. Breathing out. Jaw soft, tongue relaxed. You can either keep your hands where they are, but let's keep that breath, that flow going. We're going to end with golden thread breath. This is a very calming, cooling breath. And you can use this at any point if you're feeling overwhelmed, anxious, and just need to take a moment to yourself to recenter. So with your eyes closed, just visualize this ball of golden light in front of your eyes. Visualize that gold ball. And as you inhale, you're filtering in these gold strands in through your nostrils and out through your mouth. And we're blowing these golden strands, these golden threads out through the mouth. Staying with that visual, breathing in golden threads in through your nostrils and blowing them out through soft parted lips. So in your mind's eye, that exhalation and those golden threads start to lengthen further away from your face. Keep working on that visual breathing in and blowing out. Every time you blow out, you're releasing any tension, anything that you're holding on to that you don't need. So breathing in and letting go out through the mouth. Control that breath. One more time, drawing it in. Extending out. Keep the chest lifted, shoulders relaxed. One last time, breathing in when you're ready. And breathing out. And the eyes closed, just bring yourself back to that natural breath. And then you can blink the eyes open, but keep your gaze low towards the tip of your nose. And let's end with a hand mudra. I'm just going to come up a little closer so you can see me. So bringing the sides of your little fingers together, opening out your palms. And hand mudras are just as powerful as any yoga pose to help balance our body and mind. So inhale here, really flex your hands, and then exhale, roll the fingers towards the body and down, and then repeat towards you and opening. So this is called Transformational Mudra. And it's a good reflection of menopause, which is a very transformational time. It can be challenging at times too. This also represents the balance of giving, palms open, and receiving, something that can get lost and imbalanced. And open. And rolling towards you, and then I'd like you to bring your hands into prayer to close our practice today. So bow your head towards your hands in Anjali Mudra. And just give thanks for this time that you've given for yourself, for self-care. If there's one thing that you could have a positive thought or a word, just name it in your mind and place it in your heart. Raise your gaze, raise a smile. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed it and you feel stronger than you did before. Please make a comment if you enjoyed this. I will be holding monthly menopause classes online starting on the 8th of November. Or if you want to implement this into your company wellbeing package, then please get in touch. Otherwise, thank you so much, and hopefully you will join me again soon. Bye. Thank you.